Hey everyone, I'm Andy and welcome to another episode of Easy Tiki Drinks. And today on the channel, we're going to be making an original creation of mine that I made to specifically showcase a specific ingredient. So today, we're going to be making a Dalia De Azul. Let's do this. Alright, so as a few of you know, a little while back, Reynolds sent me a bunch of syrups that they wanted me to kind of showcase on my channel, which is great. I love their syrups, they're amazing. And if you're looking to buy some Reynolds, they happen to give me an affiliate link. So if you want to buy some, it would be a huge favor of me if you went through the link in the description below, because it would help me out and help this channel out. So thank you. And one of those syrups that they sent me happens to be their Orgeat, which is a beautiful Orgeat. It is nice and sweet, but not overly sweet, and it's got this nice rounded roasted almond flavor to it. So I thought to myself, Andy, let's make a cocktail to showcase it. So I give you the Dalia De Azul. And if you have no idea where the name came from, it's okay. I'll go over it once I finish this cocktail. But anyway, let's see what we're gonna need to make the Dalia De Azul. For this cocktail, we are going to need lightly aged rum, Joven Mezcal, blue Curacao, of course Orgeat, lime juice, and lemon juice. Let's rearrange this. All right, now before I go into each individual bottles, I do want to kind of talk really briefly about where the inspiration for this cocktail came from. I wanted to showcase the Orgeat, which means that I wanted to use a full ounce of Orgeat in this cocktail. I looked through my records. I couldn't find a single cocktail that had a full ounce in it, except for one, and it's not very well commonly known. It's called a Molokai Mule. Yeah, it uses a full ounce of Orgeat. So I looked at that cocktail and I thought, this is kind of boring, not super exciting. And then I thought to myself, what is Orgeat? Orgeat is a syrup made from almonds. It's got that fat content in it, and that's really what makes Orgeat Orgeat. It's that fat content. Well, what if I swapped out another fat for Orgeat? What other fats do we have in syrups? We have cream of coconut, or coconut syrup, which is, again, full fat. So I started looking at coconut cream syrup, well, cream of coconut or coconut syrup recipes that had full ounces of coconut syrup. You've got things like pina coladas and painkillers. All right, so let's go over the individual bottles that you're gonna need to make this cocktail. First, you're gonna need a lightly aged rum, and for mine, I'm using Plantation 3-Star. Now, I like the Plantation 3-Star because it's readily available, and I want you all to be able to make these cocktails the same way that I make them in your own home. I'm also using Plantation 3-Star because it's slightly sweet, but not overly sweet, and it is a triple island blend of Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, which are three great islands to bring rums from. It brings kind of a pot still and calm still, so we've got kind of a little bit of funk with a little bit of body on it. It's a wonderful lightly aged rum. Next up, we need a Joven Mezcal. I am using La Luna Cuprieta. Now, another option here could have been Banhez or Del Maguey Vida. I'm happy to use the La Luna because I really like it. It's got a nice vegetal note and just enough smoke to cut through this cocktail, but not too much to overpower it. We're gonna need a blue Curacao because where else does the name Azul come from? And for mine, I'm using Drolade. You could also use Giffard here as well. Now the star of the show, the Orgeat. For mine, I'm using Reynolds. Again, as I mentioned, it's got that nice rounded roasted flavor, but if you wanna use your own homemade Orgeat, by all means, please go ahead and do that. So let's build this cocktail. I'll tell you where the inspiration came from, and yeah, we'll get on with it. Anyway, let's start. We're gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of our lime juice. Three-quarters of an ounce of our lemon juice. A full ounce, as I mentioned, of our Orgeat. We're gonna need half an ounce of our blue Curacao. We're gonna need a full ounce of our Joven Mezcal. And then last but not least, we're gonna need 1.5 ounces of our lightly aged rum. Gonna add some ice to our big shaking tin. I'm just gonna take our cocktail, pour it right in. Move our jigger out of the way, give it a nice little whack. I'm gonna whip shake for about 5 to 8 seconds. All right, I'm gonna grab our glassware. For this glass, I highly recommend a snifter. While it's not a huge volume cocktail, the snifter is really gonna help with this kind of floral presentation of the Dalia De Azul. All right, I'm gonna pour our cocktail right into our glass. And we're just gonna grab some more ice to top this off with. All right, for a garnish, we are gonna go with a mint sprig. Grab your mint here. I'm gonna pinch it in half. Give it a nice little whack to wake it up. Place it right in the back there. I'm gonna go with a lime wheel. And then last but not least, we're gonna go with, well, a flower. Don't forget your straw. And there you have it, my Dalia De Azul. Let's give it a try. That is nutty and roasty and smoky and sweet and tart. There's a lot going on in this cocktail. I find that it's very well balanced. The 3/4 or the ounce and a half of citrus do a really good job of cutting through. Don't knock your straw over. Of cutting through the full ounce of Orgeat. You've also got this kind of back note of smoke from the mezcal. Where does the name even come from? Well, the inspiration for this cocktail actually came from another cocktail. So one of the bartenders that I've spotlighted in the past, Justin Voislav, has a cocktail known as the Black Orchid. He has recently adjusted that to make a new cocktail called the Dalia De Oro, which uses mezcal and coconut cream, or cream of coconut to be specific. So I found Justin's recipe after talking with him, and I wanted to create a cocktail that was like so different than how it appeared. So I wanted to take his Dalia De Oro and make something different with it, but inspired by it. So I came up with this Dalia De Azul. I wanted to create a cocktail that was highlighting the Orgeat, but was so unexpected from its taste profile from just looking at it. I wanted to create something that you would see and you would expect one thing, drink it, and then get something completely different. So it is just a total shock of a cocktail. And that's where this came from. I wanted to go with, I needed a lot of citrus to cut through the sweetness of the Orgeat, so I went with a split base of lemon and lime. That tartness is what I needed. And then to accentuate the Orgeat, I wanted that smoke from the mezcal to kind of accentuate that roasted flavor. I needed the rum in there to lengthen out the liquor, but without adding too much flavor. And then the blue Curacao in there to kind of help round out the sweetness, round out the booze, and present it in a color that just, you would never think this is the taste profile. And so there you have it. The backstory, the name, well actually the name, right, comes from Dalia De Oro, but Justin called it that because it's gold, his cocktail, so Oro is gold in Spanish, and Dalia as in the national flower of Mexico, which is where he's pulling the mezcal from. So I wanted to take that and kind of run with it. Since I was going with blue Curacao, it seemed only appropriate to call it a Dalia De Azul, or a blue dahlia, or a blue flower. So there you have it, my Dalia De Azul. I really hope you guys go out and make this cocktail. If you do, please let me know what you think of it. Drop a comment below, tell me what you think, and be brutal, right? If you don't like it, tell me. I am open to feedback. I would love to hear it. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that little notification bell. Hop on over to Instagram and TikTok. Follow me there at Easy Tiki Drinks. And until next time, guys, I'm gonna sip on this cocktail while I go, take it easy.